On the morning of July 2, 1947, in the small desert town of Roswell, New Mexico, an unusual event would set off decades of speculation. The air was hot, and the silence of the desert was only broken by the occasional sound of the wind against the sand. Far above, something cut through the sky, fast, silent, and unlike anything the locals had ever seen. Witnesses later described seeing a strange object hurtling toward the ground, shimmering as if it were made of a material unknown. To them, it wasn't like a conventional aircraft. Its movement was erratic, as if it were struggling to maintain control. Moments later, a distant explosion echoed through the vast desert. That evening, a violent storm swept over Roswell. Thunder rumbled across the plains, lightning lit up the horizon, and heavy rain fell, washing over the desert floor. Some locals claimed that, amid the lightning flashes, they saw a glowing object lying far out in the brush, partially hidden by the terrain. The next morning, rancher William Brazel went out to check his sheep after the storm. While riding across his property, he stumbled upon something extraordinary: a wide debris field, stretching for hundreds of meters, scattered with metallic fragments unlike anything he had seen before. The strange material seemed weightless and almost indestructible. Brazel later said the pieces were thin like foil, yet they would not crease, burn, or break. Some fragments had strange markings, resembling hieroglyphs, etched into their surface. Unsure of what to make of it, Brazel gathered some of the debris and took it into town. He showed the pieces to friends and neighbors, who were equally baffled. Word spread quickly. Something mysterious had fallen from the sky, and it wasn't from any aircraft people recognized. On July 8, 1947, the Roswell Army Airfield (RAAF) released an official statement that would shake the nation. The press release claimed that the military had recovered a flying disc from a ranch near Roswell. Newspapers across the country printed bold headlines: "Army captures flying saucer." But within just 24 hours, the story changed. The military issued a second statement, saying that the object was nothing more than a weather balloon. Photographs were taken showing military officers with balloon debris, a strange contradiction to the first announcement. That many locals were skeptical. Those who had seen the original debris insisted it was nothing like the material shown in the photographs. Witnesses claimed that the real wreckage had been taken away under tight security before the balloon explanation was given. Rumors began to swirl about what had really happened. Some claimed that not only debris, but also strange bodies had been recovered, beings not from this earth. Allegedly, these bodies were taken to secure military facilities for study. Brazel himself became noticeably more reserved after military officers spoke with him. Friends said he seemed shaken, and he avoided discussing the incident in detail. It was as if he had been warned to remain silent. For years, the Roswell story faded into the background, overshadowed by other events. But in the late 1970s, UFO researchers began digging into the case again. They interviewed former military personnel, civilians, and anyone who might have knowledge of what had happened in 1947. Some witnesses came forward with astonishing claims. Retired military nurses spoke of seeing alien bodies in the base's medical facilities. Former officers described being ordered to transport strange cargo under extreme secrecy, and others spoke of being threatened to keep quiet. The U.S. government maintained that the wreckage was part of Project Mogul, a top-secret program involving high-altitude balloons designed to detect Soviet nuclear tests. But critics argued that this explanation did not match the descriptions of the debris or the alleged recovery of bodies. Over time, Roswell became more than just a historical event. It became a symbol of government secrecy and the possibility of extraterrestrial life. The town embraced the legend, with museums, festivals, and a constant stream of curious visitors. Today, the Roswell incident remains one of the most debated mysteries in modern history. Was it truly a crashed alien spacecraft, or just a misunderstood military experiment? Decades later, the desert still holds its secrets, and the truth continues to elude us. Whether fact or myth, Roswell has cemented its place in popular culture. The story has inspired countless books, documentaries, films, and conspiracy theories. And each year, new witnesses or declassified documents emerge, adding fresh fuel to the fire. The events of July 1947 left behind more than debris. They left behind questions, and perhaps somewhere, hidden in a classified file or locked away in a desert bunker, the answers still exist, waiting to be uncovered.